Are you ready?
Fasten your seatbelts.
Drivers, start your engines.
Race activated. Sheer passion. Change the game forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Racing with Celebs.
Yes, we are back with another adrenaline-filled episode of your favorite racing show. This is the show designed for you, where we put your favorite celebrities through their paces. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Our word for the day is flag-to-flag coverage. Television or radio coverage that consists of the entire race, start to finish, rather than highlights, tape delayed, or highlights the first portion of the race before broadcasting the final quarter of the race live. My name is Donovan Clyde, and today I will be navigating you through today's episode at Rallystar. A Rallystar adrenaline-filled day starts off with an interesting introduction session during which we discuss our passion, the art of the driving, rallying as a sport, and the most incredible experience of participating. Today we will be entertained by no one else than actress and TV presenter Janina Oberholzer. Janina Oberholzer is a well-known radio and TV presenter. She is one of the hosts of the rugby show Toks and Chops together with Toks van der Linde and Brayton Paulse. She is a well-known face and has been involved in theatre as much as she has been doing TV. She matriculated from the high school Oosmoed and graduated from the University of Pretoria with a degree in drama. Now, besides being an actress and presenter, she has also made her mark as an MC, newsreader, DJ and radio presenter. Let's cross over to Johan to find out more about the Rallystar.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Racing with Celebs. I'm excited to see what Janina can do behind the wheel of a rally car. My name is Johan Snyman and today we are back at Rallystar for another exciting episode of Racing with Celebs. Let's go and find out what the guys have in store for us. Rallystar opened in 2002 and offers the real rally driving experience. Situated at the Carousel Casino just outside of Pretoria, Rallystar are proud to say that 98% of people leave Rallystar as better drivers. And now that we know more about Rallystar, it's time to go and find out if Janina is ready for today's challenge. Janina, welcome to Racing with Celebs. It's an honor for us to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm quite excited to see what we're doing here today. Well, I can tell you for free, I've never done something like this, so I'm quite excited.
And from a scale to 1 to 10, how nervous are you?
For the moment, because I don't know what I'm doing as of yet, I think it'll be a 5. But I'm sure after Leon's told me all the ins and outs, it's probably going to escalate to about a 15.
And your expectations?
I've got none. Like I said, I've never done something like this. When I saw this rally car, I'm like, oh cool, I'm excited because I've never done rally before. And then I looked at the surroundings and there's no track. Means I'm in the bush. Don't know where I'm going. So no, the nerves are definitely picking up minute by minute.
Well, to make sure you are safe, let's go to Leon.
Let's go.
Join us after the break as we take our celebrity Janina Oberholzer through the rally stage.
Mzansi, new spectacular singles brought to you by Roman's Pizza. Zihamba ngama 1-1. One single large margarita, only $63.90. One single large pepperoni deluxe, only $74.90. One single large 4-in-1, only $94.90. One single large sweet chili chicken, only $98.90. Nizwile. Order online at romanspizza.co.za. We deliver or you collect. Roman's Pizza, best value.
Welcome back once again to Racing with Celebs. It's part 2, and this week we're going rallying with Janina Oberholzer, the very well-known radio and television presenter. Let's see how she is going to fare out on a rally stage for her very first time. It's not an easy task in any way, shape or form, but fortunately with Leon Buerta as her co-driver and delivering the pace notes, that should be a very welcoming sight for her. We know that she is actually going to be quite nervous going out onto this. She was extremely nervous before she belted herself in, so I'm fairly sure she's going to take it pretty steady going through these corners. Now, of course, all of the drivers who compete here at the Rallystar Experience will be given pace note instructions for the course. And we saw that taking place earlier on, that tuition. It's all in the name of the game so that Leon can communicate quickly, effectively and crucially, clearly before they go out onto the stage. Let's have a listen to the conversation in car for just a moment.
Stay good. 90. Left 9. 90.
So you can hear the conversation going on there. Leon Buerta delivering those instructions. So getting into a 90 to left, that's a 90-degree left-hander. Got to flick it into there, get the car rotated round. So going through into that left-hander, a little bit wide on the way in there, just brushing past some of the undergrowth there on the outside. Keeping things on the straight and narrow there, fortunately for the most part, though. So 200, that's a 200-metre long straight then before a right 9, which again is a 90-degree right-hander. So very technical this stage, as we've seen other celebrities. We saw Tubbsy doing it, of course, earlier on in the season. And it'll be interesting to see how Janina will be able to fare. Into the right 9 then. Just about straightening it up on the exit of the corner. Now right 6, so that's quite a tight right-hander which is going to follow. Then into a left 2, so a nice open left-hander. It's interesting actually in terms of pace notes because they differ really between driver to driver. So for example, if you follow this system, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, that refers to the number of degrees the corner is, so 10 degrees for 1, 20 degrees for 2 and so on and so forth. Whereas if you look at somebody like Colin McRae, well, he would have it based on the gear that you should be in going into the corner. So if it was a 4 right, that meant he needed to be in 4th gear. If it was a 2 left, you needed to be in 2nd gear, and so on and so forth. It's really interesting to see how these different drivers and so on will have different systems that work for them. And you can see Janina there going into a left 2. So a nice open left-hander down a short straight before she flicks it into there. Now going into a right 3 which follows. And that crystal clear communication is going to be very important. It might look slow from the outside, but of course you've got to bear in mind that it's so easy when you're going faster to dip a wheel onto the undergrowth, to hit a rock perhaps that you might not have seen. And of course the crucial thing when you're doing something like this is to not run before you can walk. You need to take it slow, build it up slowly, build up your confidence and be able to get yourself in the right frame of mind as she goes through that hairpin right to be able to tackle it confidently and build up that speed progressively. Especially if you've got no experience in motorsport, this is one heck of a way to birth yourself into it essentially, and Janina doing a very good job. Normally used to being behind the camera, and well, she is behind the camera to a certain extent, but of course it's behind the wheel of a rally car as well. So an easy left 5 for her to go through now before 70 metre long straight, and then into a left 5 and then a right 5 which follows. You see just how tight and narrow it is using this onboard shot there. Really does not look like the easiest thing to be negotiating. The undergrowth in particular making things quite tricky. And as we've seen, of course, it's very easy to get it a little bit wrong. We're going to have Leon Buerta, who's going to show Janina around the circuit, or the stage rather I should say, a little bit later on.
Right left, 60 to right line.
So into the right 9 then, round to the right-hander, keeping it in second gear through there. And the chance where you can shift up the box into third position. Hear the turbo chirping away on that 4-cylinder boxer engine. And doing a fantastic job again of keeping on the straight and narrow. That gives you a real idea of just how narrow it is, that onboard shot we were just looking at a few moments ago. It really is not an easy task, but you can see Janina seems to be enjoying it. She's grinning from ear to ear, as is the instructor Leon Buerta there as well. So coming in towards the right 9 then. As we know, of course, Janina, a very well-known television and radio personality, the host of the Tox and Shops rugby show with Tox van der Linden. Has been involved in theatre a lot as well. Not really a lot she can't do, and as it turns out, she's pretty handy at driving a rally car around this stage. Maybe she'll add that to her CV. So then into the left 2. So a left 2 which is going to tighten then, so just important to make sure that she's got this all sewn up. There's no point throwing anything away and starting to, again, as I said earlier on, run before you can walk. It's all about technique here, and of course there's so many different rally driving techniques that you have to get used to. Scandinavian flick being one, for example, where you use the weight of the car and that transfer going in to help the car slide through the corners. Of course, at the pace that Janina's going, unsurprisingly, that's not going to be a technique that needs to be applied here today. But when you see something like the World Rally Championship, for example, they'll be using the Scandinavian flick quite often, depending on the surface that they are driving on, the speed of the corner that they are going into, to help them get that car rotated nicely and get around that stage as quickly as they possibly can. Beautifully dry conditions here at Rallystar as well, and don't forget this of course is something that you can get involved in at home as well. If you're watching this and you think to yourself, I really fancy getting involved in this, then just get in touch with the Rallystar school. They say that 98% of people that come and take part in one of their tasks go away a better driver, so it certainly can't be a bad thing, can it? And it'll teach you a lot about driving off-road that perhaps you may not have even realised. It could be a very good opportunity for you. So going into another right 6 now then here, and then into a right 5. This is where we start picking up the pace a little bit, and if we were going a bit faster, corners would be coming up one after another after another. As I've alluded to a lot when we've been talking about rallying over the course of this series, it's crucial really to have that relationship with your co-driver to make sure that you understand one another as best as you can. Clear and precise communication is what's important, and that's what matters when you're in a rally car, because one wrong pace note, one mistake can cost you very dear indeed, and there really is no margin for error on a rally stage. So through the left we go once again, coming up towards the end of the stage there now, and I think a big smile on the face of Janina, knowing that she has been able to complete the task and complete the course here, but also I imagine a little bit of relief going into there as they pull the machine in. And now we're going to see what it's like for a fast lap with Leon Buerta behind the wheel. We can see she's a little bit nervous here, asking Leon to take it easy. Let's hope that she keeps her language clean. Let's see what Leon is going to be able to do. There's the smile on the face of Janina. She's already seeming to enjoy it as the adrenaline kicks up. And Leon there just doing a very good job of negotiating these corners as they go quite a significant amount faster than they have done previously down this course. You're threading the eye of a needle. It's not an easy task to do. And Leon there, well, doing a very good job. You can see Janina, though, she is, I think, a little bit scared. No need to worry about pace notes on this occasion there, though. Close your eyes, Janina, it'll be over soon. Good to see the facial expressions changing quite significantly, though, over the course of this one. Leon really putting the hammer down here. Of course, he knows this course like the back of his hand, and it's not an easy task. You saw how long that course was when Janina was doing it, so memorising all of those corners cannot be an easy task at all. Into the hairpin we go. Using the handbrake, as we say. And accelerating once more. I dare to say I think she's enjoying this one. I hope she is, because well, it's good for us to watch here. Leon just doing his thing as he normally does. As he said, he knows this place like the back of his hand and knows how to really put the hammer down. Through into the left-hander, clipping the dirt on the inside there. Little bit airborne as they see the suspension travel. Great to see Janina Oberholzer enjoying herself so much out there. Accelerating now. This is a good chance to get up to some good high speed going through here. Close the eyes, it'll all be over soon. Grabbing onto those belts like your life depends on it. It must be incredibly scary if you're not used to travelling at speeds like that. Especially in the passenger seat. It always feels faster in the passenger seat of a car for some reason. And you can see it's making it a little bit emotional. Just dealing with this speed and this adrenaline. But there's nothing that quite compares to it when you're right on that edge. You can see Leon negotiating these very tight, twisty sections of the course very nicely. Clipping the grass on the inside as he goes through and into the left-hander. Just coming to the end of it now. I think she's going to have something to say about that as they come into the garage then. Goodness me, let's get her reactions then. Janina Oberholzer, what does she have to say after that?
I think I'm still shaking. I know why people get addicted to adrenaline, because that was an absolute adrenaline injection. Lots of fun driving myself. I didn't think I was going to be so confident, but after like the first round, then the accelerator became my best friend. But when Leon was driving, I'm sure you'll see me closing my eyes a lot. Yo, that was intense.
Look, it's always a sort of a mystery to me in the beginning, but she did very well. There was one or two things that I tried to help her with quickly, and she immediately got the hang of it after that. I think she's a good driver, and it was actually fun driving with her. She, even on the hot seat spin, it might look as though she were frightened, but she enjoyed it. In the end, she was, I think, glad to be still alive. But yeah, she had a very, very good experience, and I really liked driving with her.
Up next, we find out what's happening in the life and career of Janina. Stay tuned.
We are back with our celebrity for today, Janina. Janina, where did the love for sport start?
Oh, I've always been a sports lover, but how I got into the industry and how I made it my career was a friend of mine, a channel was looking for a female rugby presenter, and she's married to a rugby player, and she's like, oh, just come along, because they were looking for a female rugby presenter. And we sat at Ellis Park for the entire day, went for the audition, and I didn't win the competition, but I came second, and that's how I got into the TV show that I'm currently on. So I've always been a sports lover, and I've always been a huge fan of the Olympics and tennis and all that stuff. But now when I got shoved into a rugby show, No lies, I had to do some research
I can imagine.
so that I didn't sit around the fire and just be the girl on the show. I wanted to make sure that I contribute to the show and that I know what I'm talking about. And with the other guys on our show, they took me under their wing and so on. So in the beginning, it was literally research and reading up and all of that, and then it just became second nature. And now it's just what I do, and it's in my blood, and I love it.
And did you ever dream about being on TV when you were younger?
No, this was never the path that I as a child chose for myself. I'm a very caring person, and I always make sure everyone's fine. I love entertaining, I love hosting, just want to make sure everyone's fine. So I actually entered university to go study nursing. So I actually wanted to become a nurse, and got into university, had a little spot at Ray's, and then 2 weeks before entries closed for Tux, I told my mom, I'm going to Tux and I'm studying acting. And she's like, oh, my child, okay, that's fine. I can't say no because both my parents studied acting. Yeah, and that's it. And then I got into radio, campus radio, and from campus radio I got into commercial radio, and from commercial radio I got onto TV. I even read news for a while. Worst job of my life.
And if you can choose between radio or TV?
Oh, I get that question so often. I always say radio because that was my first love. And it's a medium where you can do so much with the imagination of your listener, and you need to create the picture for the listener. Where in TV, we make the pictures.
Yeah, I know.
And so radio will always be my first love. I would love to go back one day. I was in it for a good 11 years, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But for now, TV's good, and I'm working a lot behind the camera and producing and creating some lovely images. So for the moment, that's where I'm at.
Yes, absolutely. And if there's one sports star that you would still like to meet and do an interview with, who will it be and why?
Oh, it's Roger Federer. It's Roger Federer, Roger Federer, and Roger Federer. So I was lucky enough to go to the tennis in Cape Town at the beginning of last year, and I cried when he walked out, and my mom had to console me because my mom introduced me to the love of tennis. And so for her 65th birthday, I took her down to Cape Town for the tennis. And when Roger walked out, I was bawling like a baby, and she literally had to console me. So definitely Roger Federer, but that doesn't mean I haven't been starstruck before. A few people that's been on our sports show that I was like, I didn't know what to say. One of them is Uncle Hugh Bladen, that I was like so shocked to see and meet the voice that we've all grown up with in South African rugby. So definitely Uncle Hugh, and Penny Haynes. Penny Haynes, as a little girl, watching the 96 Atlanta games, and Penny was our golden girl, and we got her into studio for like 2 segments of our show, and I still remember it so clearly. I could not get a word out. I was literally just staring at Penny Haynes thinking, this is my childhood hero in front of me, and the moment was just too big for me to even ask a question or take a picture or an autograph or anything. So definitely starstruck moment, but Roger Federer is on the bucket list to interview and meet in person.
Yeah, Nina, thank you. We had a fantastic experience, and we hope you did too.
Thank you. This is something I've never done before, and I was very nervous. But thank you for an adrenaline-packed day. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Racing with Celebs. If you would like more information on the series, celebrities, or sponsors, please visit our Facebook page, Racing with Celebs, or download our mobile app, Racing with Celebs, on the Google Play Store or the Apple iStore. Till next time, goodbye. Asya.